everybody, it's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with my very last review for Braxton Family Values. The season finale came on last night, so if you stick around, let's just get to it, shall we? Okay, everyone, so the show starts off with all the girls together, and they're just discussing how they just don't understand why the dad didn't show up when they were all in Maryland. And everybody's pretty disappointed. Traci is feeling kind of torn. Like, she's used to, since she lives in Maryland, she is still really close with her father. And unlike the other girls, because, they all moved to Atlanta and Los Angeles and wherever else they went. So since she's still there and since he lives really close to her, she still keeps in contact with him. So later on in the show, since they all decided that they are going to do this inspirational album, they're all at the studio, everybody but Tony. And, Tamar is voicing her opinion like normal and saying that she's not going to do the album if Tony is not going to participate. So, Traci's getting increasingly frustrated with this because she is like putting all her eggs in this basket. She wants to make this album. When the girls all get back to the house, Traci tells them all that she spoke to Daddy. And, they're all just like, well, what did he say? And she said, well, he's agreed that he'd come to Atlanta and, we'd all get together and talk. And, the girls understandably are just like, okay, so he didn't show up while we were in Maryland right around the corner from him, but he's going to come all the way to Atlanta. Like, what was he doing? Why didn't he come? And Traci said, well, he said he went to church and then they went to eat afterwards. And then he was with his friends. And I was just sitting there thinking like, well, damn. He got all his kids and his whole family basically waiting there for him, and he decides to go off with his friends. I was just like throughout the whole episode, you can tell Traci is just kind of having she's just feeling some kind of way. She goes over to her mom's house and she tells her mom how she really wants to, do this album. And she is contemplating moving back to Atlanta. And her mom just tells her like, well, you've got a family there. You have your child and your husband there. And they are very, set and stable where they are. It's going to be, you can't just, don't act hastily, basically. So I guess that after Traci sits down and really thinks about what she wants to do with her life and, just decides that she is going to commit herself to this album, she lets everybody know that she is going to move to Atlanta. So she is all in. Lastly, in the show, they're at the studio. Of course, it's Tamar, Trina, Towanda, and Traci there. And again, it's no Tony. And, everybody's kind of like, Tamar just like, I told you, you know how she is. And Traci is just like, this is some bullshit. I done told you guys that I'm coming, and you guys are really not trying to, do this record. I mean, are we going to write songs? Are we going to sing? Are we going to sit here? She's just like mad. And I think that I kind of feel like Traci just has missed the bus on this whole album situation. Like, she is like back in the 10 years ago. And, a lot has happened. They all sing already and they already are set in their careers. And they not really thinking of it. To me, it don't really matter to them one way or the other if they do this album. I think they all want to do it, but I don't think that I don't think they have as much, not even as much riding on it as Traci does. So I feel sorry for Traci because at this point it don't look like that album is going to happen. Okay, you guys, so Towanda has decided that she is going to file a legal separation from her husband, Andre. And you guys remember Andre, I don't have to remind you. So she makes the appointment to go and meet with the lawyer. And for support, she takes Trina and Tamar. And I was giving that TV a side eye because I was just like, what made her decide to take Tamar for support? Out of all the people on this earth, she decides to take Tamar? Like, she had to know that wasn't going to work. But anyway, When they get to the lawyer's office, and the lawyer is explaining to her, like, okay, once we get this ball going, it's going to be really hard to stop. How are you going to do this? You guys are still living in the same house and this and that. And Tawanda's just like, he's home with the kids, but I need, I need someone that's going to be a provider. And Tamar, okay, so this is the whole thing. Tamar jumps in and says a lot of valid things. She's basically saying, like, he's not no good dad because he's not a provider, and he's living in your sister's house, and I bought that car for you guys, and and he, what is he doing? What does he contribute to your life? And she's just going on and on and on and on and on. And Towanda gets really upset because Tawanda's just like, what? He is an excellent dad. He is just not a good husband. But I'm not going to let you sit here and talk about him in that way. He definitely is a good father. Now, this is how I feel about it. I do believe that you could be a good father and not a good husband. I could see where Tamar was coming from. I could see where Towanda is coming from. From Tawanda's standpoint, you have to remember that she was married to this man. She has kids with this man, and she loves him. Regardless of what he has done, regardless of what has happened in their past, when it boils down to it, she does love this man. And it's hard to sit there and let somebody talk about your husband or wife, even when they've been wrong. That it's like, I could say bad about him, but you can't say bad about him. So she was just like, I'm not saying that he's been a great husband, but he's a wonderful dad. He does for the kids, and he's there for them. And for that, I appreciate him. And I'm not going to let you talk bad about him. Well, Tamar's standpoint is, he's not a good dad because he doesn't provide, because he doesn't get up and go to work, because he leeches off of everybody, because I bought the stuff that you guys have, because you are living with your sister and he's not helping you, helping towards a place for you guys to stay. Like, what does he do for you? Now, it was easy for me to be annoyed with Tamar because I just don't like her approach all the time. And I think that she's childish and doesn't really realize still how marriages go and how testing, how things can happen to test your relationship. She just obviously hasn't gotten there yet. And, Trina was trying to tell her that regardless of how we feel, that she needs the support. She wanted us to come here and sit here and be here for her while she signs her papers. She don't need you to sit here and tell her about her relationship. And I still don't even know if Tamar got the message. I think Tamar was just trying to, she saw how mad that Towanda was, and that she just was trying to just kind of smooth it over. But I still feel like she didn't regret what she said, and maybe she shouldn't. I mean, if she's doing a lot for them and he's not doing it, then she has a right to feel like, the way she feels. Later on in the show, she goes and, she meets up with Andre, and she pulls him to the side, and she's just kind of anticipating that there's going to be a big fight and an argument. And she tells him, I got the papers drawn up, and we're going to, do a legal separation. And he was just like, okay. And she was just like, okay. And he was just like, okay. He took the paperwork and he walked off. And, she was disappointed because I guess she thought that he was going to fight for her. And I was thinking to myself, like, girl, he is so through with you. He's so through with this relationship. He is not fixing the fight. He took that paper and he probably was in the bedroom like, yes. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I'm out of here. But I guess at some point him and Tony talked, and he told Tony that he was going to fight for his family. So I guess we'll see what happens in the next season. I don't see it happening. Okay, you guys, so Miss Evelyn, if you can remember from last week, I don't think Miss Evelyn was really looking forward to seeing the dad, because in my opinion, I just don't think that she's moved on. And but she was trying to be there for the girls. Well, in this episode, The girls, since Traci was able to talk to their father, and he said he was going to come to Atlanta, they decide that they're just going to tell the mom that they're going out to eat, and they didn't tell her. And at first I was thinking like, yeah, y'all didn't tell her, because you know how reality shows, they always try to act like it was this whole big thing. But when they got to that restaurant, and when that man walked in the door, or slid in like a pimp, like Evelyn said, when he walked in, you could see on her face that she had absolutely no idea that he was coming. And it was like her whole face, it just transformed. She was pissed. And I was just like, uh-oh, this is not going to go well, just like Tony said. So they're sitting there with the dad, and I was just like, Tamar has got to be, I don't know what is wrong with Tamar. So, you know, they're sitting there, and Tamar is asking him all these questions about, you know, how did you guys' friendship end? Talking about the mom and the dad. Well, that's all it took to get it started. Evelyn is pissed. She's going off on the dad, telling her, saying how he was never home, and he was, you know, and he goes on and says that, you know, the mom was just never happy unless I agreed with her, and she was running my life, and I was just unhappy. I was unhappy. I was tired of being the yes man for her, and I got out. And you girls let her run your life also, and as soon as y'all stop letting her run your life like this, you guys will be happier. And, you know, it just goes on like this. You know, Evelyn's saying how he was with all these different women. The dad is just, he is really just over it. You know, I had all that emotions last week, and I really thought that this, you know, visit was going to turn out differently. But the dad don't seem to have any regrets. You know, he has 5 girls. You should know that women are more emotional than men. You know, his whole attitude was just like, you know what, let's get over it. It's done. It don't matter no more, and let's just move on. Well, the girls feel. Women feel, men. We feel. We don't just get over things. We think about things. We ponder on things. We worry about things. So they're not going to just get over it and move on like that. You know, he starts talking bad about Evelyn, and then it starts to get even worse, because, you know, you're not going to sit here and talk about my mama. I don't care how much I love you. You know, you're not going to talk about my mama, especially if she's been around. She's been the one that's been here, and you haven't. I was cracking up when she was talking about when Towanda asked him if it was more women than just Miss Wanda. That's the woman that he married. And, you know, he kind of pussyfooted around that and was just like, well, you know, you have to understand that. And I was just like, no, that's a yes or no answer. That we ain't got to understand nothing. Was it more than one or not? And Miss Evelyn gonna say, he laid them low and spread them wide. And the girls was like, oh my God. I'm telling you, I was laughing, because I was just like, you know, when somebody call you a low down dirty dog and all that, that's like an older person saying. But I've come to know from living in the South now that when they call you a low down dirty dog, they really don't like you. Evelyn was so mad. She said that she had to get up out of there before it be 2 more sad days. And she said one was going to be his funeral, and the next one was going to be her trial. Okay, you guys, so that's it. I'm gonna miss doing this show. I watched the little reunion show, and that was nothing. I mean, I didn't feel like I found out anything on that show that I didn't already know, you know. And it's not like it's gonna be like many of these other reunion shows, because they're sisters, they're family, so they're always around each other. It wasn't gonna be no scandalous reveal or anything like that. You know, Tamar acted the way I expected her to act, and you know, Trina, whose hair was beautiful. Oh my God, I was just like, girl, you don't wear that hair. Oh my God, it was beautiful. And Tony looked nice, and the mom, girl, she was stuffed up in that dress. It was so tight, her titties was all up at the top. I was like, all right, Evelyn, you better do it, girl. I'm gonna miss doing this show with you guys, but you guys continue to come to my page, because you know I'm going to be making other videos. Did you guys just see my It's Real with itsrox? I just made one called You Don't Do That. And I need you guys to click on that one and see it. And go look at all of my other past It's Real with itsrox series. Those are fun. So that's it, you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.